Okay.
Welcome back to 10 Tenths Podcast. I am your auctioneer, Robert Veerhout, and across from me is my co-host, Adam Nielsen.
That's a more reasonable pace, Robbie. It's definitely a more reasonable. Well, I don't know about a more reasonable pace.
No, I was made fun of because last week and many weeks and all the time, because usually what we do
the last 2 years.
Yeah. Ever since I started doing it, because the problem is we'll be mid-conversation, I'll be like, all right, we're starting the show. Hit record. And then I'm just like, welcome back to this podcast. Like, just, let's get into this.
Yeah.
So, apparently I need to slow down.
You do the intro really quickly. I've been meaning to make fun of you.
I want to get over it. I want to get through
on the show.
I just want to get to the content.
And then we get distracted with some other thing, and
We'll go back to
I'll bully him next week instead.
and then months later.
And then I don't ever get a chance to because we always have a thing that we roll right into so quickly.
No. But yeah, Max made fun of me and called me
Thank you, Max.
Called me an auctioneer. And
finally.
Now I'm self-conscious about my intros.
Good.
As well as like
you should be.
I'm self-conscious about my outros. I'm self-conscious about
the podcast
in general. Yeah, I'm like...
We're coming up
Sunday
on that
at noon. Yeah,
we're coming up on that event where we get the most awkward interactions at PRI.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming soon, Robbie.
Well, every event it comes up. Like
I know, but it's extra awkward at PRI.
No, it's extra awkward anytime.
I feel less weird about it at Grid Life because most of the time those are people I kind of know already. Whereas PRI, it could be people I don't have
any sort of affiliation with.
Like I don't recognize you because I don't see you, or I maybe have never seen you. And so then that's a little weird.
No, the weird thing is it's somebody that I assume doesn't listen, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I was listening to the most recent episode."
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I was listening to this week's episode. You were what? This week's episode?
Yeah.
You listen to me?
Why would you?
Well,
do
now
that
I don't know.
yourself?
Now I can't talk to you. Now I can't talk to you anymore because I feel bad. I'm weird. I'm uncomfortable now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's like coworkers listening to. It's like that's great. Now I'm thinking about everything I've ever said.
I tell them not to. I was like, don't do that because we'll get new ones and they'll be talking. We'll be talking, and inevitably at some point it comes up, right? Because I'm telling them I'm going to some event this weekend, or I just got back from some event, and they'll ask, "Oh, like what are you doing?" I'm like, because that's the worst part. I tell them I go to races, and they're like, "Oh, well, what do you race?" Like, yeah, fucking don't.
How fast do you go?
I don't race. Yeah, I just traveled halfway across the country. I just drove to fucking New York State to run a dyno.
Yeah.
So
for the content.
Yeah. So that's always weird. And then they're like, "Well, why?" I'm like, "Well, I do this podcast." "Oh, really? What is it?" "Maybe I'll listen." "Maybe you shouldn't."
You're not my target
audience. Please don't.
Yeah. I appreciate the downloads, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know what to tell you.
Don't do that. Don't do that. It's going to be awkward for you and me when I make fun of you on the podcast, and then you hear it. Just don't.
Or then you'll bring up like an episode I did a year ago, and I have no clue what you're talking about.
So
my opinions have changed.
Oh, for sure. You want to know how much your opinions change? Immortalize them on the internet for people to make fun of you for.
Yep.
I'm never going to LS swap my 240.
Never said that.
6 months later.
Nah, I never said that. That doesn't sound like something I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely speak with
authority.
Authority. Like,
absolutely.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Or I always.
Talk in absolutes.
That's the phrase I was looking for.
Only Siths deal in absolutes, Robbie. Which is a quote you don't understand. That's fine.
No, it's some nerd language I don't get.
Siths are the bad guys in Star Wars.
I knew they were Star Wars.
And only they deal in absolutes.
Why do they deal in absolutes?
I don't fucking know.
It's wrong because it's a bad thing to do.
Yeah, apparently.
You should never deal with absolutes.
Yeah,
got it.
Saying you would never do something, that's an absolute, right?
Yeah. I always.
You probably shouldn't deal in absolutes.
It's fine.
I don't like people that are that wish-washy. Sometimes you have to be absolute about something.
I have to be more opinionated on this show because it's terrible content if I'm actually being who I normally am.
Maybe.
Because
it certainly hurt me less.
Oh, then I want to hurt you more.
I know, that's the problem.
Yeah. It's good content when there's a back
Our
and
friendship
forth.
is definitely different than it used to be.
Better?
Different.
It's the group chat's fault.
Well, I mean, we're talking about this race coming. I don't know a fucking thing about it. Most of my information I got from other people's posts and stories.
Yeah. Yeah, say if I posted on my story and then a couple of things I posted to the group. But yeah, normally I would just tell you about it. But
yeah, you can't tell me about it.
No, it's got to be on the show. It's got to be authentic.
I'm not very good at that. I'll just tell everybody.
If it's really good,
I don't really care.
I'll usually basically if you're watching my Instagram stories and it's normal Thursday night, we're doing this weekend.
Yeah.
And then Friday it's doing this, doing that, doing this.
Yeah.
And then Saturday morning doing this. Update, and then no more updates. The weekend turned to shit.
Yep, something went wrong. We've gone south, people.
He hasn't updated in 6 hours. Yeah, because it sucks now.
Wasn't any podium pictures this weekend. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of pictures after, I don't know, 10 o'clock on Saturday. Yeah.
Was it that early?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Robbie.
I stopped posting on Instagram early Saturday morning. There was no more updates the rest of the weekend. Because even on Sunday, I was I'm not even going to. I don't care. No one else cares. Fuck it.
That sucks.
This is a stupid hobby.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Robbie.
We'll get there. All right.
How is Sarasota?
Packed. Oh my God. Why is there so many people?
Because it's so cheap to fly there, Robbie.
Oh my God. All right. Before we get into it, remind everybody to head over to KangaMotorsports.com. He's got cool articles. Actually, I have an article on the front page.
How you point at the screen that nobody can, even on YouTube, no one can see that, Robbie.
not only that, but my arm is off camera.
Yeah, you can see, but you can see you're pointing at something.
Right there on that screen.
Gesturing to a screen that literally I'm the only other person in the world who can see.
Adam, look over here.
I am already.
Behold, this television. KangaMotorsports.com.
Now you're going to be conscious about that.
Self-conscious, you mean?
Sure.
All right. Also head over to factorfabrication.com. Head over to factorfabrication.com. Factor.
But not two words. Not like fact or fiction.
No. Factor.
Factor. Not factory.
No, not factory.
Factor.
Factor Fab.
Factor.
Fabrication.com.
That's a thing that people don't hear a lot.
Yeah, it's because I say it too fast, I think.
A lot of people hear factory.
That's because they listen to the podcast at 1.5 speed. That's their fault. And
my dad thought it was time and attack or something like that for a long time.
Oh.
Time attack?
It's because we mumble. Well, I mumble.
Yeah, that's no, time and tech. That's what it was.
Oh, really?
Time and tech. That's what he thought it was for a while.
Huh.
Instead of time attack.
I suppose I've read it enough times that I just knew. I suppose I always heard it.
I guess we
don't
enunciate well.
Well, I know that for sure.
Sometimes.
Yes. I'm sure. I bet a speech pathologist listening to this show is like, you got to be kidding me right now with these guys.
I mean, we're not like Southern draw or anything.
No. We're from the Midwest. We don't have an accent.
Right. Absolutely. My non-regional diction.
But factorfabrication.com for all of your fabrication needs. If you need to be caged or railed or get new furniture, Booney's got you hooked up.
Yeah.
You should head over there. Tell them what you need. They'll make it. Use the code 10tenths. Won't get you nothing.
Probably an increase, honestly.
Yeah. Say, oh, you're one of those people. Factorfabrication.com.
Speaking of those people.
Us people?
Right? The people who listen to this podcast.
Oh, yeah, those people.
So they were discussing on the track walking podcast.
Oh, those people.
How to eat cereal.
He's wrong.
Scott's got a weird way of eating. I'm not going to say he's wrong because I haven't tried it. It's I'm interested. Call me intrigued.
All right, so Scott, he pours cereal in bowl in cup.
No, into like
cup.
a large mug, like a coffee mug almost. Like
like
a tall one,
yeah.
like an insulated coffee mug.
Yeah, it's almost like what's Stein. It's almost like a Stein.
Sure, I don't think it has a handle.
No,
it's just a
but
big
it's a big
cup.
A big cup like a Stein.
Yes.
So he takes that and then he puts
cereal in it.
Yeah, cereal
and then
first.
He pours milk on top of that.
And this is where he loses me.
And then he lets it
steep like tea for 5 minutes.
Steep is not a thing I've That's not a term I'm familiar with.
All right, so like when you make tea, you put the. This is gonna really piss someone off.
How Americans make tea.
So you put the bag in the cup, and then you pour the hot water on the bag.
Oh, see, I don't even do that. You put it on the porch to sit in the sun, Robbie. That's how you make tea.
But then, after you put a pound of sugar in it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Did you know that McDonald's sweet tea is 1 pound of sugar per gallon?
That seems reasonable.
I mean, you can taste it for sure, but like, that's a lot of sugar per gallon.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
But anyways, back to the point. But when you let the tea bag sit in the cup of hot water,
that's called steeping.
Letting it sit there before you drink it is steeping.
Okay.
So Scott takes cereal, pours milk on it, and then lets it sit.
No, I don't think
5 minutes.
That's too long.
That's what he's doing.
I know it is, but that's too long.
Then it's a soggy mess.
I like the idea, and I feel like this is very cereal dependent.
Yes.
But I kind of like the idea of it in a cup.
Yeah, we did that at the track when E-Man gets cereal. He just gets big red Solo cups, and then we eat out of that. Then you can drink the milk.
Because I feel like that's probably just how I would consume it. I would drink it. I don't think I'd even use a spoon.
The spoon in a cup is less convenient.
But anyway, what I was getting at for this whole conversation is that he posted this on his podcast listenership group, and everybody in there was like being cordial about it, like, oh, that's an interesting concept. Like, that's not how I do it.
We have a very different...
And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't even handle it. You people are
too polite.
This is not how you treat a podcast host. I refuse to allow this to slide. And so I shared it on our group, and people are like, fucking steep? Are you kidding me, bro? And like, that's better. That's what I'm looking for. This is the anger that I was after here. It was exactly the reaction I had anticipated, and our group delivered.
But if you're going to let it sit for 5 minutes, why don't you just put it in a blender and just mix it all up anyways?
You know what? That's not a bad idea either. That might actually be better that way.
Because if you're just going to let it be a soggy mess,
then you should blend it.
Just blend it.
That actually is not a bad idea.
And then just drink it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that makes more sense than trying to even bother scooping it. At 5 minutes, the cereal's gone.
5 minutes?
It is a soaking, gross mess.
That's out of control.
E-Man has it figured out where you pour a little bit on
as you go,
and then eat it, and then pour more on, and then it's always crunchy.
It's interesting, but then the bottom's still going to be pretty soggy. But you got to do it fast.
Yeah. See, it's a whole thing. It's a whole method.
Or you just eat it out of a bowl, Robbie.
Now we get back to the bowl versus a plate argument.
No. Or you just don't eat cereal because it kind of fucking sucks.
No,
I said it, Robbie. Cereal sucks, people.
What about this crunch cup?
If breakfast isn't... Oh, that's interesting. If breakfast isn't warm, keep it.
No, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, every day. It's got to be heat.
I have the most boring breakfast in the world.
I know you do, and it upsets me. And I want to introduce you to my breakfast sandwich.
No,
because you would change your ways, Robbie. I'm convinced of this.
It's
a very fast and efficient system that delivers a delicious breakfast that doesn't suck, and it's not cold.
When I was in automotive school, I'd wake up and make eggs every morning.
Yeah.
And then I got old and tired.
Uh-huh.
So now I wake up
But I have a system, Robbie.
I wake up every morning, drag myself downstairs, turn the coffee pot on. Usually eyes closed, still just like on.
Well, if you'd spend a little bit of money, Robbie, just a little bit more money, it would turn itself on.
It does do that.
Michael Beck's turns itself on.
Yeah, mine does.
Well, it used to.
Rest in peace. No, my coffee maker does that. I just don't care. I have it ready from the night before.
Yeah.
So like whenever I drag myself downstairs, I just press the button, and then I make a bowl of cereal, which is usually Raisin Bran Crunch, and then I have a protein shake, which is like that Carnation Instant Breakfast. So it's just milk and Carnation Instant Breakfast.
Yeah.
2 multivitamins. And a yogurt. And that's how I start my old man day. That's why I'm so healthy, Adam.
Do you want to know what mine is?
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Do you want to know what mine is?
Casey's Pizza?
Are we No, I try not to eat more than one slice of Casey's Pizza a week, mostly because it's north of $3 a slice at this point.
That's too many dollars.
And that shit's out of control.
I remember when Old Chicago did $1 Slice Night on Tuesdays. That was bomb.
Come and Go does $1 Slice days on Wednesdays.
Yes.
And then you could go in there and buy 2 slices of breakfast pizza for less than it would have cost you 24 hours earlier to buy one.
So you have to do it that day then.
Yeah, I would never go to Come and Go on any day that isn't Wednesday.
That's fair.
But usually I still don't go to Come and Go.
All right, so what do you make for breakfast?
Okay, so my morning routine, because apparently that's what we're doing now. Car show.
Scott started it.
Car show.
On his car show.
Well, he was eating that for supper before he...
No, you were...
While he... You know what the other thing that upsets me about track walking?
They eat on the show?
We're fucking here, right? If this doesn't get them listeners, I don't know what will.
Exactly.
Almost every time, one or both of them are finishing a meal.
That is unacceptable.
While they start the podcast.
No, we finish, then start.
And they've been talking for 20 minutes. They do the exact same thing we do. There's no way they don't.
You have to get it back and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get a quick starter.
That's when you finish eating.
Yeah, right before you hit record.
Right. Not after you've hit record.
Yeah, if you're not drinking like things that make you feel awful.
Right.
Or taste awful.
Right.
Don't bother.
Right. But
people want to know what ranch dressing soda tastes like.
But anyway, my morning routine.
Yes.
My alarm goes off at 4:30.
Yep.
I snooze it at least twice.
What?
Usually don't crawl out of bed until...
What?
Yes.
You snooze? You're one of those people?
Yes. Katie hates it.
She should.
Well, you know
You're
what?
a monster.
You know what? I don't care.
Snooze shouldn't even exist.
You know what's really the most upsetting thing about my iPhone is its snooze function. It cannot the snooze function time cannot be changed, and it's 9 minutes.
You want to know what
which is infuriating.
You want to know what I can tell you about my snooze function? I have no fucking clue how long my snooze function is on my phone. None. Couldn't tell you.
That's insane, Robbie. How do you have the...
Not only that, I don't even use my phone. I use the old digital clock that is so old, it has the old daylight savings time on it because it automatically switches. It has time zones on it.
Yeah, okay.
But it was before they changed it.
I didn't know they changed it.
They changed it like over a decade ago.
I didn't know that something had changed.
I think George Bush was the president when they changed the daylight savings time.
Robbie, we're pushing 2 decades since that happened.
That's what I meant, 2 decades. This is an old clock.
We're old people.
But so like I think they changed the daylight savings by like 2 weeks or something, like 2 decades ago.
Okay.
So this clock still has the wrong time zone on it, so like I have to switch it.
So anyway, yes, I snooze, Robbie.
No, so I have that on the other side of the room. So when it goes off, I get up, I shut it off, and I'm up.
I've considered that, and that's probably what I should do, but I can't bring myself to do it.
Even if my phone's doing it, man, I just swipe it off and I go about my day.
No way, bro.
I wake up at 4:30 because I get up at 4:30.
No, my alarm goes off at 4:30 because I need to get out of bed by 5.
No. If I get up at 5, I get up at 5.
No.
That's an extra half hour of sleep.
No, if I get up at 5, then I'm not going to... If my alarm goes off at 5, I'm not getting up till at least 5:20.
That is the worst sleep, though. That's like...
Yeah, you're not wrong, Robbie. I know that. I know.
I would rather have a bowl of water poured on me than to get 20 more minutes of shitty sleep.
Most of the time, I'm not sleeping. Most of the time, I'm sitting there looking at my phone.
Waiting for the thing to go off again.
Trying to decide whether or not I'm actually going to do today. You know what the worst part is that every time the day wins.
Always. You always
I lay there and I think about like all of the reasons why I shouldn't get out of bed, and usually they're pretty fucking good ones.
There's many reasons to stay in bed.
And yet I still do every fucking day, Robbie.
4:30 every day.
Yeah.
So I'm tired all the time.
Anyway, so then when I do get up, I go and I sit on the toilet for, I don't know, 25 minutes, because that's what a man does.
Okay. I don't do it right away, but yeah.
I do it right away.
First thing.
Straight to the toilet.
Okay.
And that's when I fill out my daily production report from the day before for work.
Okay.
Because it has to be uploaded to our system by 6:30, because that's when my boss gets in and does his thing.
Okay.
So as long as it's in there by 6:30, I'm good. So I'm sitting on the toilet at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And usually usually the amount of time I spend on the toilet is based upon how much I did or didn't do the day before.
Okay.
Because, if I did a lot of things the day before, it takes me longer to fill all that out.
Yeah, that's fair.
So then I fire up the shower. Or no, I brush my teeth because that's what you should be doing that too.
I do that.
But then I fire up the shower, and
wait, you shower in the morning?
Yes, I do because I gotta wipe the sleep out of my eyes.
Oh, I shower before I go to bed.
Sometimes I shower. It's not uncommon for me to take 2 showers a day.
Oh, I don't do that
because I love showers in the morning. It wakes me up, gets me feeling good.
I don't disagree with that.
But then when I'm like hot and sweaty and gross and dirty, I gotta take a shower when I get home.
I can't get to bed dirty.
Right. So, like, unfortunately, I end up taking 2 showers a day semi-regularly. Okay. It is what it is.
I just give myself a horse bath to start the day.
Sure.
I mean, for those that aren't aware of what a horse bath is, it's when you clean yourself in the sink. Like wipe my face, get my hair just so.
Most of the time, my shower in the morning is more of a, like, just letting it run over my eyes and still, like, contemplating whether or not I'm going to do the day.
Can I just go back to bed?
Yeah.
I get it.
But while the shower is warming up, because it takes a little while for some reason, I don't know, my house isn't big enough that there's that much pipe between my water heater and my shower, but still it takes
33 minutes to
a bit of time to warm up.
Okay.
I run into the kitchen and plug in this little English muffin, egg McMuffin sandwich maker thing, right? Okay. And while I'm in the shower, it's warming up.
Oh, so you got like the frozen egg McMuffin thing?
No.
Okay, good. Because those are disgusting.
They are disgusting. You're right. So what this thing is it's like it's almost like a George Foreman for egg McMuffins.
Okay.
And so then you put the English muffin on the bottom.
Yep.
And then I put cheese in there.
Okay.
Depending on what I'm feeling, it's different cheese semi-regularly, Colby Jack or provolone.
It's definitely not pepper jack.
Gouda. No, it's definitely not pepper jack. You got me there. And then I buy those. It's not like the most delicious thing in the world, but it does the job. Yeah. They're those like pre-cooked, ready-to-eat bacon strips.
Oh, those aren't so bad.
They're not too bad.
No.
They're fine.
They do the job.
Right. They do the job. And then you put that on top of the cheese.
Those are the ones you have to like overcook so they're extra crispy.
Right. So you put those on top of the cheese so that the cheese doesn't, because that's the bottom layer.
Yep.
And then there's a thing that flips down on top of that.
Yep.
And so you got to put the bacon on top of the cheese so that the cheese doesn't stick to the bottom of the next layer up.
Right.
Thinking.
Yeah. That's just.
And then crack an egg in there.
Okay.
Scramble it up a little bit.
Okay.
And then I have like some seasoning stuff that I put on there. Some like
Lowry's.
It's a mesquite burger seasoning.
Oh,
is what it is.
Okay.
But I really like it. It's really
That'd
good.
Be good. Yeah.
Put some of that on there, and then I get smoked pork loin that's cut into like lunch meat at Fairway every week. Take one of those, cut it. I have to rip it in half and stack a little bit because it's a little bit longer than my English muffin is wide.
Okay.
And then you put the top of the English muffin in there, and then you close that thing, and then I go get dressed and let the dog go potty and stuff like that. And then pack my lunch, and then when I'm ready to leave, that thing's done, and I put it on a plate and walk out the door.
Oh, you eat on the go?
Yeah, I eat it on my drive to work.
Gotcha. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. Well, I mean, I sit.
And it's not a shitty fucking raisin
cereal. I sometimes will switch to oatmeal when it's cold out.
That's even worse, Robbie.
But it's also...
That's literally just hot, mushy cereal.
It is.
That's like letting your cereal soak for 5 minutes and then throwing it in the microwave.
Yes.
That's just hot, mushy cereal.
I just need... when it's negative 27 degrees outside, I just need
You can have a piping hot English muffin breakfast sandwich.
That does sound good, actually. It kind of reminds me of my grandpa had this like hot dog toaster oven thing.
Yeah.
You put the hot dogs on the slots, and then you have the buns on the slots.
Yeah. So Katie's dad bought that for me for Christmas one year because he couldn't come up with anything. And
it's one of those gag gifts. You're like this isn't a bad gift.
And then I started making them just like randomly, and I'm like, I could do this in the morning. And now I literally use it every day. I'm on my third one.
Yeah. The hot dog toaster oven is not a bad gift.
That's not a thing that would have a permanent spot on my countertop, though.
Right.
That would get put away. I wouldn't use it that much. But this Egg McMuffin thing has a permanent spot on my countertop. I use it.
That's fair.
At least 5 days a week, because a lot of times I'll still use it on like Saturday and or Sunday.
Yeah.
So, and then I also have my cheat day where I get a slice of Casey's pizza.
That's fair. On the weekends, depending on if I have the time. If I have a bunch of shit to get done, I'll just grab whatever, like a granola bar.
Nope, I still make one of those in the weekends.
But if I have time, then I'll make like proper bacon,
Fucking
hash browns,
brother.
like a skillet. I'll make a proper skillet.
So good. I love breakfast. Let's just do a
car show. Show.
You know what, Robbie? I say you hit stop record and we go get some Denny's or something.
Village Inn. That's what we need. Is there even a Village Inn?
I just ate at a Village Inn in Ames not that long ago.
That one's still there?
It was mediocre at best, and it cost me nearly $50 to feed my family, and
That's
I'll never
much.
go again.
I remember we used to go there. You could do the VIB. You could build your own breakfast.
Yeah.
No. Was it VIB?
Yeah, VIB. Very important breakfast.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I remember we could make our own.
You
build
pick
it.
your own
And
things, yeah.
It was like $7.
Let's go to Bacon. We haven't gone to that one in a minute.
I have.
I've
been there many times.
I haven't been there in a long time.
It's excellent.
Fucking love that place.
Yep. It's just down from work. I can call it in. It's ready by the time I get there. Just pick it up, take it home, or take it to work.
Maybe I'll do that on my way home.
I like it.
Get a skillet.
Skills are great.
Oh, they're so good, Robbie. Let's just stop this. Nobody cares.
This
about
food
what you did in
podcast is
Florida.
brought to you by Petrobox. MyPetrobox.com for all of your breakfast needs. If you want to have...
People are going to be like, do we really talk for 30 fucking minutes about what you guys do in the morning?
Nah, we only talk for 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
For all of your automotive culture box stuff, Petrobox, mypetrobox.com. So it's a automotive subscription box. It shows up to your house once a month. It has cool stuff like a t-shirt, like this one that I'm wearing right now that you can see on the YouTube channels or on the thumbnail for the show, or usually car care products, some tools, some magazines, stuff for your dog, stickers, all sorts of fun stuff. Sometimes candy. I've had candy show up.
Nice.
So mypetrobox.com, use the code TTP15.
Piece of pizza?
We did not. I have not had the pizza show up. Yeah.
Okay.
TTP15, 15% off that first box. They also have a store on their website. Just hit the shop button that has all the stuff from previous boxes that it's just available. So if you want to get, like, I don't know, let's say $15 mechanics gloves with 15% off, you can do that. Just use our code.
Right. Click on Get My Petrol Box.
Get My Petrobox.
Click on that real quick.
Click right there.
Yeah, so scroll down a little bit. So they have a basic.
It's even cheaper.
Yeah. Look at that.
So instead of a box, it's
2
a
to
bag.
3 months. 2 to 3 items a month. Just a little bitty bag.
Yep.
It's even cheaper.
You can cancel at any time.
That's cool.
Yeah, the Petrobox Premium. That's 5 to 7 items shipped monthly. That's
$40.
Yep.
2 or 3 items, $20.
So yeah, you hit choose. And then you just fill out things like, what do you like? Do you like domestic, European, Asian? All. And I will say all. We like all.
Yeah, absolutely. Sizes?
Size? Large
Extra
shirt?
large, Robbie?
No, I'm not.
3X?
Oh. Medium.
It's like, wait, what are we here? Select your glove size.
Yep.
Oh, shit, I don't know what glove size is.
Extra large, duh.
Hey-o.
And then you can do month to month, 6 month, 3 month, 12 month.
Ooh, best deal.
That is the best deal.
I just like that they have the...
Like, they have options.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes, I understand.
So...
MyPetrobox.com.
As much as I don't want to admit it, we're coming into the holiday season, Robbie.
It's rapidly approaching.
There's nothing... So, for all of you who are hard to shop for and end up getting Egg McMuffin sandwich makers, send your families towards My Petrol Box.
They also have gift cards.
There you go.
On the shop.
There you go.
Just click on the shop.
But just get like 3 months of a box and you're happy.
Yeah.
Bam.
MyPetrobox.com. Adam, I did stuff.
Did you, though?
No.
Not as much stuff as you should have, Robbie.
No.
How is Sarasota?
It's so goddamn busy. Full of people.
What do you mean busy?
It's just full of people. I swear to God, there's more people per mile or centimeter than like Miami or anything else in Florida. I don't remember.
Are they all old people or are they all retired old people?
No, it's everybody, man.
Are they...
I think we got like Tampa and like all that's just like right there.
Are they there because it didn't get wiped out and their homes are shambles in the places they actually live?
No, I think that it's just. I mean, just going through things. It's just like nothing has a yard. Everything's just on top of each other.
Oh.
It's there's so much just packed in there.
Gross.
So that was the first thing I noticed when I got off the plane. I was just like, this place is packed. Like just like sardines down here.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. So Factor Fab Racing. We got our hero cards. Did you see this, Adam?
I did see those. They're fancy. They're huge.
Well, yeah, we got to sign them for people. So there's multiples. You got this one here with a lot of pictures from. We got pictures from NOLA. We got pictures from High Plains.
Yep.
We got this one that has other pictures from NOLA and High Plains, and then we got the most important one here.
The one with you on it.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Robbie.
Look at that.
Look at you. You need a Marlboro.
I need Dusty to like Photoshop this water bottle out of my hand and have it be like a Bud Heavy.
Yeah.
And then a cigarette in the other hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what a man would do.
Yeah. We're not real men though.
Manly men.
We're kind of little wimps about certain things.
Yeah, well, alcohol sucks.
There is that.
Yeah, so Factor Fab Racing, we were racing a WRL for Sebring. So Max and Booney took off from Des Moines, drove down, started on Tuesday. It's like a 20-something hour drive. It's so far.
Did they even take Lori?
Yeah, everything.
They took Lori?
Lori, my trailer, everything.
See, I was kind of wondering, like, wouldn't it almost make more sense to just take the van and the trailer?
Nope. Because where are we going to sleep?
Gas is decently cheap, yo.
It's very, very expensive.
And, like, I almost feel like, and I realize that this goes against everything that I stand for.
Yep.
As a person who goes to the racetrack.
Yep.
But maybe it would make more sense to stay in a hotel.
You better not say that ever again. No, we stay at the track, Adam.
I literally, like, Heartland was probably my favorite event of the year.
Because you went to a hotel at night?
Except
that
I still, when I think back about it, I think about all of the things I may have missed, all of the shenanigans I didn't get into. But you're not going to have those at WRL.
To be fair, there are no shenanigans.
There's no shenanigans.
At WRL.
It's a strictly no shenanigans zone.
Actually, they had a bunch of stuff going on because it was Halloween and it was a spectator event.
If they had Grid Life-esque signs, they would have no shenanigans on some of those signs. They would say that verbatim.
Yep, and they'd be serious. They would be serious.
Yeah.
So they took off on Tuesday, and I don't have the vacation to take off to drive to Florida and back. So I flew.
Self-employed.
Yeah, I flew.
Arrive and drive, I think, is the term you're looking for, Robbie.
Yep. So we talked about a little bit.
The WRL way.
Yes. So we talked about it a little bit on the last episode that like Sebring is 2 hours from everything.
Yeah.
It's like dead center in Florida.
Uh-huh.
So it's 2 hours from Orlando, 2 hours from Tampa, 2 hours from Sarasota, and 2 hours from West Palm Beach. Those are the flights the airports that I looked at. And Allegiant is dirtbag cheap.
Uh-huh.
$50.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't die. So I got that going for me.
Clearly.
It was a pleasant flight. It was fine.
Let's not get carried away.
It was fine. It was
pleasant, though?
Yeah. Huh. Just got on the plane, read my book for 2.5 hours.
It was better than our flight to Vegas?
Yeah, it was quiet. Like, people weren't all, like, in Vegas.
That was the worst for you.
They wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Do you remember that flight out there?
Yeah, they were so loud.
Those two people that split. You were split?
I was split between two of the fattest people I've ever sat next to.
And they were couples.
They were a couple
who clearly were hoping that the middle seat would just not be taken.
Yep.
And there was Robbie.
Yep. They put me there because I didn't get to choose my seat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good flight.
Yeah, they were talking dirty to each other. It was like so inappropriate. People are rude.
People are the worst, Robbie.
People ain't no good.
They're the worst.
So, the flight down, I had an aisle seat. I read my book.
Nice.
It was fine. It was good.
My flight out to Colorado, I sat next to a charming grandma, and we chit-chatted for a while.
Yep. I sat next to quiet people. Like, everyone's just in their own little world.
I enjoyed chit-chatting with grandma.
Yeah, no, I mean, if someone want to talk, I'll talk. But everyone's real quiet.
Yeah.
And I do what I always do in the Des Moines airport and show up an hour earlier than I need to because it's what I do.
I did
the same thing in Sarasota.
Much earlier than I needed to.
No, but the flight was at 9:40. I think I was there like fucking 8.
Gross. No way.
I'm like sitting there. I'm sitting in the corner just like going through my notes, like my virtual track walk step by step, just like memorizing the track. I'm like, well, I got nothing to do for an hour, so we'll study. So I did that. But yeah, so I mean, flew down. Actually, got into Sarasota.
Oh, yeah.
Got into Sarasota.
Yeah, you did.
And
you got your economy box or similar.
I got, so obviously I wanted to do this as cheap as possible because I'm going to drive to the track, and then I'm going to drive maybe to like Walmart, and then back to the track, and then back to the airport. That was the plan.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit what car I had.
As you shouldn't.
The cheapest one, please. With the cheapest car, the cheapest insurance. As long as it gets me there and back, I don't care what it looks like. Whatever. Just
right.
It could be old, shitty, 100,000 miles for a rental. I don't care.
Right.
Just get me there.
Right.
If I can pay $10 a day for it, I will. That's what I want. They didn't have any of those. But I had already prepaid for that car.
Uh-huh.
So I'm standing there waiting. He's like calling it in. He's like, all right, we don't have any economy cars. I'm like, all right, what does that mean? Well, we got this brand new Challenger that just showed up, so we're going to give you that. Is that okay? I was like...
For the same price?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, for the same price.
That would have been the question I would have asked.
Well, yeah, he said that. He was like,
okay.
He's like, you're going to give it, we're going to charge you for the economy car, but like, this is what we got for you. And like, you're traveling alone, so you can have this one. Cool. So they go and...
It's totally wasted on you, Robbie.
It was a V6, don't matter.
It doesn't matter, Robbie. It's a rear-wheel drive Dodge Charger or Challenger that you don't own. Yeah. And you wasted that opportunity.
Yeah.
You didn't. I bet you didn't even do you don't even know how to take that car's traction control off, do you?
Nope. I put it in manual and used the paddles.
Fucking wasted, Robbie.
But he asked if I was traveling alone and then gave me this. And then it was funny. He goes, yeah, we'll get you a Challenger. You got a nice V8. I'm like, there's no fucking way it's a V8. There's no way. There's no way it's a V8.
In his mind, they all have V8s because they're Dodge Challengers.
Yep. So it was not a V8, obviously.
Weird. It still had the splitter.
The splitter guards were still on it. I was legitimately embarrassed. I mean, no one else.
Just take them off.
They're like snap ringed in there. Like they're not just like on there. It's like pinned in.
Yeah, there's a.
And I think
there's a bolt even that you have to take out or something.
Yeah, and I didn't care enough to do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was funny because he calls it in, and they're like, yeah, we got this Challenger ready. And he's on the radio with the guy, and he's like, what's the mileage on it? 306. And I was like, maybe he means like 10,000, like, just like he knew the first two digits, he just needed the last three.
Yeah.
No, I get in the car. 306 miles.
That's crazy.
I am the fourth person to drive it, apparently.
That's still crazy that it only had 300 miles.
Apparently, anyone that's been to Sarasota that rented this car drove it to the hotel and back.
I mean, our truck, my work truck was brand new when we got it, and it was delivered to us with 200 on it.
Yep. It was brand new.
Huh. That's crazy.
It drove nice. It was a nice car.
I would fucking hope so. And you returned it in the same condition.
With an empty gas tank, yeah. But
that's a big no-no, Robbie.
I prepaid, which was a huge fucking mistake.
Yeah, it was.
I overpaid.
Yeah, you did.
But I didn't want to deal with it.
Okay, fine. But still, you returned it with even like a reasonable amount of tread left on it and everything.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I don't care. I don't abuse it. I just want to go to the fucking racetrack and use that car.
You could have finished with this one.
Probably.
It probably would have done the race.
Probably. Could have been the pace car. I don't know.
I suppose it's not caged, is it?
Not yet.
I wouldn't let the safety rules.
It's a brand new car. It's safe. It's fine. Yeah, so then just drove from Sarasota over to Sebring, and
is that like a scenic drive? Do you just like drive along the ocean, or is that like
you're driving from like the ocean to the dead center of
Florida, which is probably a terrible place.
There's not a lot of nice things around Sebring.
Do you want to know a fun fact I learned?
Yes.
Florida is actually the flattest state in the United States.
It's very flat. Very flat.
Its highest elevation point, 347 feet above sea level.
Huh.
And it is actually truly topographically the flattest state in the country.
I'll be damned.
Not Kansas.
Nope.
Not Nebraska.
Not Iowa.
Florida.
I believe that.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, it was just there's no no interstate or anything. It was just like a highway.
Right.
2-lane all the way to Sebring. And it took me like some weird spots. Like I need to get groceries. So
stimulating the local economy. That's what we call that, Rob.
So I was going to get ice and like a handful of groceries that we needed. So I was like, I wanted something near the track. So I'm on Waze or whatever. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Old Old something groceries. And it was like right there. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll go there. And I pull up and like this is not the nicest neighborhood. So I'm like getting further, like I kind of go by the track. I'm like, okay,
Florida man. I was like, strong here.
So I'm pulling it, and like I'm going to like this little small, like clearly this was like a downtown at one point many years ago. Like it's real small, and like I pull up to where I think the grocery store is supposed to be, and it's clearly closed like permanently. So that's like not a good sign. So I'm like, I kind of like stop in front of it, and then like realize across the way, like just like so 2 buildings down, and like on the kitty corner, there's a bar, and there's 7 cops interviewing all these people out front because someone had clearly just been fucking shot.
Oh, good.
Good. Like no joke.
Oh,
there was like 7 cops just interviewing all of these people.
Good. That's fantastic.
So then I'm sitting here like, clearly in a rental, clearly not from here. I don't know where to go.
We're a small town. I don't know what I'm doing.
Where's the nearest Winn-Dixie?
You should have just asked. You should have just like, hey, you. I know you're like really busy, but like, where's the safe part of town where I'm not going to get shot and I can get groceries?
Winn-Dixie, please. Walmart. Anything.
Down there, I think so when I was in Wilmington in South Carolina, the grocery store chain there was called Lowe's.
Oh, weird.
Which was confusing for us.
Yep. There was, I couldn't find a Walmart, like anywhere near it. And then Winn-Dixie was there.
That's Florida. I thought that's all they had was Walmarts.
Publix. They have lots of Publix.
Florida man and Walmart go hand in hand.
You would think.
They are one and the same.
Yeah, it was not as close to the track as I expected it to be.
Huh, that's really annoying.
Yeah, so found my Winn-Dixie, didn't get shot.
It's good. I'm glad.
Made it to the track, got everything ready. That's about it. That's pretty uneventful there.
Yeah.
I got everything set up, and then on Friday we get the car out and we misplaced the tech sticker or the sticker that needs to go on the car, so we couldn't go out for like we couldn't find it. So we go and like get track one down and then get the sticker on. So I'm like late to the first session. So I go out and I do, I don't know, 6 laps maybe in like the heaviest fucking traffic I've ever been in. There's 80 cars on Sebring, a track I've never been on. So like I was way off pace, real frustrated. Cause like I'm either on someone's bumper or like getting past, and it's just like I just want to get up to speed like just one time. Just give me a minute. Didn't happen. So then Josh went out when he went out, and then it was lunchtime, and things are going well. The car's feeling good. Just everyone's getting up to speed, learning the track. I must say that Sebring, I went into it like basing it off the sim, and granted we have really good 2-way suspension on the NPO1, but like I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. This is gonna be really bumpy. I'm not gonna like it.
I'm gonna pee blood. Yeah, I'm gonna piss blood. Like, it's gonna be great.
It really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I must.
Is it way overblown?
No. I think it's.
Is NOLA worse?
NOLA is pretty. I'd say in parts of NOLA for sure are equally bumpy, but in general, Sebring is more bumpy for longer.
Okay.
There's definitely places you don't want to go on Sebring because it's going to be a big bump.
Yeah.
But I was thoroughly impressed with that track.
You really liked it?
All the way around.
Really?
If I had to choose Road America or Sebring, it's not even close. It's Sebring.
I'm okay with that. I actually like... I know. I realize I have this huge, expansive amount of track knowledge.
Well, of course.
But like, Road America doesn't look like that much fun of a track to me. Unless you just like... make a 11 billion horsepower, or your sole concern is like VMAX.
That's
just go as fast as I possibly can.
Granted,
then Road America's your place.
Yes,
but like that's not what I go to a racetrack for.
No, I mean it races pretty well. It's a very good track. Like I'm not belittling Road America in any way.
Right.
It's an amazing track, but I had way more fun on Sebring. Sebring was more technically challenging.
There's a couple of corners like in the middle that I really enjoy on the sim.
It is.
There's a couple of corners you're like, when you get it right, you're like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
That felt good.
Yes.
And you don't really get that feeling at Road America because there's a corner and then a huge straightaway. And I like the stuff where you kind of got to connect things and there's some flow to it.
No, I knew Sebring was going to be either hated it because it's going to be like on the sim. But it was that. I mean, Road America was that way too. I fucking hated it on the sim, but I liked it more in reality.
Oh, okay.
But again, I like Sebring a lot more.
Has there been a track that you've liked more on the sim than in reality?
There.
Just out of curiosity?
I'm trying to think. No. But the tracks that I really like on the sim are tracks I haven't driven in reality.
Okay.
Because some of the free tracks on iRacing, like I think it's like Uran Park. I don't think it exists anymore either. And it's in like Australia.
Oh, okay.
But I really like that track.
Of course.
I might not be saying the right track, but there's some tracks that I really do enjoy on the sim that I've never driven.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe I'd hate them in reality.
Yeah. Like the Grand Prix track at the Nürburgring is one of my favorite tracks to drive on the sim. Like, I love that track so much that if I got the chance to go to the Nürburgring,
you'd do that?
I probably wouldn't even drive the Nordschleife. I would rather drive the Grand Prix track.
Hey, it happens.
So, but I get it. Top 5?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah?
For sure.
Really?
I definitely want to go back and I want to put more time there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That surprises me.
If given the chance,
top 5.
Yeah. If given the chance, I will absolutely go every time.
Huh. We need to do like a running. We need to like put a board on the wall.
Yeah, top tracks
for Robbie. Because Robbie's favorite tracks.
High Plains is high on that list.
Robbie's
too.
top 10. We need that. We need that board on the wall.
That's fair.
And then like so you can move them around
because it does change on that. Like because Sebring's
because then you'll go to a new track and be like fuck. Yep. I really like this one. I want to put it in like 4, but then I got to shuffle everything. That would be really fun for me to watch you.
Because like
deal with.
I obviously I love Hallett.
Yeah,
Hallett's high on my list. Always will be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I honestly don't know what I would say number 1 is. But Sebring, Hallett, and High Plains are all very high on that list.
Hallett, I know, is always like the benchmark.
For
Robbie.
I love Hallett, but High Plains was also fun, a lot of elevation, challenging. Like same with AMP. AMP is an awesome track.
Yeah.
I think it would just kind of suck to race that though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Super fun track.
I do think that there's a difference between a track that's fun to drive and a track that's fun to race.
Yes.
Because if the track's too busy, it's hard to focus on passing and racecraft.
Yeah.
But if it's real busy, then it's fun to drive.
Yes.
I can see that.
I need to go back to AMP. I think Atlanta Motorsports Park, for those that aren't aware of what I'm talking about, that was probably the most like roller coaster-y fun track I've ever been on. And I want to get way more laps in it. But I have a hard time seeing that being a good track to race at. Like, just I think passes would be really challenging. They didn't seem very wide, like to really put a lot of cars on track. I'm making a lot of assumptions. I didn't get to do the GLTC race, but
right.
Yeah. So I just need to do more, Adam.
That's the problem, Robbie.
Yeah, more.
There's never enough.
No, you get that hit, man. I need more.
Right into the vein.
Yep. Because even after the shitty weekends, you're like, all right, let's go.
What are we doing next week?
Yeah. Well, it's like I got done with a 3-hour stint at High Plains, and we're going through checkers and come in, and it's just like I am exhausted, and all I can think about is I want more. Give me more.
I'm glad that you still have that, Robbie, because
after this year, I can't believe.
We'll get there eventually, but like it's not been good.
This year fucking sucks, dude. Back to Sebring. So we did our practice sessions in the morning. Car's feeling good. Things are going well. We're making some just everyone's starting to get up to speed, getting acclimated. Josh setting the benchmark for where we can be with the car. Basically, trying to chase him, and then it's just some minor things come up. So we were just doing that with I honestly can't think of anything that we had to actually fix, but just like things that came up that we were working on.
Yeah.
So anyways, it gets to about lunchtime, and then they shut down from like 12 to 1, and then so everybody can stop and eat lunch, and then so they do like driver orientation for anyone that either hasn't been to the track or hasn't been with WRL. So then they had 3 cars that they were doing ride-alongs in. So then basically the driver would kind of walk through a lap and kind of give some tips and tricks and So you basically just first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, shit, WRL setup that does on Fridays, it's qualifying for anyone doing the racing, and then that's half the sessions. So then every other session is an HPDE. You can either buy that and as an additional add-on if you want to race or drive all day Friday. So if you want more testing or you need guys to get more acclimated, we did that at NOLA, but we haven't done it since. So we did. We did our session, and then there was an HPDE session, and then it was lunch. Yeah. So we were done. We're like, let's just go get in line. So we go get in line, and then like we jump in. The two cars in front have people in them already, and then so it's me, Booney, Max, and Josh, and so it's perfect for this Dodge Charger. So like, we'll jump in this car, and then jump in, and our driver turns to us. He's like, "I'm Dorsey Schrader." Yeah, I know who you are.
What the fuck?
I know who you are.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, just like
Dorsey Schrader. Are you kidding me?
Like
Robbie.
Just like as soon as he started talking, like I'm like picturing the Dinner with Racers episode, and he's like super personable and fun, and he's talking about stuff, and like obviously Booney and I are just like blown away, just. It's Dorsey fucking Schrader. And then Max and Josh weren't quite sure who he was, so they're Googling it. Like,
that's what I'm doing right now because I just wanted to see.
Yep.
Like I wanted to see like where he's at on things. American race driver, born in 1953. Since August of 2015, has served as the race director for the Pirelli World Challenge, and since 2018 as the race director for Trans Am. Over the course of his sports car racing career, he has won 40 professional races of 242 starts, including 17 Trans Am Series wins. That's, yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty accomplished
Started
racer.
Racing in 1971. Successful sports car driver throughout the 90s in Trans Am, winning a championship with Roush as a rookie in 1989 with 6 wins. In 1990, he was named the IMSA GT Championship GTO Class Champion with 3 wins. Between 98 and 2002, he also competed in Grand Am and the American Le Mans Series, recording a win at Mid-Ohio for Dyson Racing. So, yeah. He's been around.
Yeah.
Did well in IROC, which is cool. So... was also known as a NASCAR Road Cup course rigger, making 9 Winston Cup Series starts between 1991 and 2001. Was on Fox Sports 1 as a color analyst.
Yep.
Damn, son.
Yeah, so we got the luck of the draw.
That's so crazy. Do you know who the other drivers were?
No idea.
Were they just dudes, or were they like
they were
Dorsey Schraders?
They were not Dorsey Schraders.
That's crazy.
Which is funny because he was like getting impatient with the cars in front of him, and he was clearly giving different tips than they were.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we got the best.
That's
the funny thing was, because like there's a huge line of people waiting to get in these cars. We took well over 10 minutes for our lap. So I'm sure there were people that didn't even get in the cars in the 1 hours that we had. They took their time. So like we did a really slow lap, and you walk through every corner saying like, you want to be here. This is where you want to be looking. This is how I do it. This is where I feel like the best line is. This is what I would do. Like, and he's just walking through it there were things that he completely disagreed with Ross Bentley on. Like just like what I would do is be here and do this and like do that. And I was like, write that down.
That's so crazy.
And it was just. And then, like, Booney's asked him, like, before we go out there, Booney's asking him some questions, and we're talking about, like, the speed of, like, the LMPH cars and, like, just the technology and stuff like that. He was talking about, like, the craziest car he'd had around Sebring was this R8 Audi whatever race car.
Before they started building R8s, the old LMP1 cars, the first one was an R8. Yes. They called it an R8. That's probably what he's talking about.
Because he said when he took it around turn 1, he was sustaining 4G.
Oh! Oh!
He said it was unreal how fast that car went around the track.
That sounds painful.
Yep. Sustainable 4G.
That's crazy.
Formula 1 cars are doing 5G.
Yeah.
It's just so fast. But yeah, that was a huge highlight of the weekend.
Yeah.
Was getting a lap from Dorsey Schrader.
Go home happy after that. That's crazy.
But I mean, it was just, Josh knocked off time immediately. Like he went out in the afternoon. It was just like the things he was questioning that he had answers for now, and it was just like knocking down laps, gaining pace immediately.
That's awesome.
So it was good. I did the last session. Yeah, I only got like another 6 laps, I think, by the time we got black flagged. That was probably could go out for a session and then whatever, like car oil down the track or.
When you say we got black flagged, you don't mean.
No, it's the session, the whole session.
Okay.
So like, yeah, if like we had a couple cars oil down the track and then.
That's what you want to do on a practice day.
Yeah, some sessions got cut short. So like both of my like. I showed up late to one, and then my last session got cut short. So I only got like 11 laps.
Oh, okay.
So then we started the race. I mean, Friday they did like a trick or treat thing. It's like they had spectators at this event. So
did that turn out well? Did they get a pretty decent crowd?
Really well.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how because during practice on Friday, you can kind of see
that there's
like,
people
the
filling
infield,
in.
And like there's campers, and like all sorts of people just like filling it in.
So we're talking like 1,000 more people.
Maybe not quite that many.
But like there's a
hundreds.
crowd.
There's hundreds.
That's crazy. That's cool.
Just, like there's enough racing fans in Sebring.
That's a start.
They just come out and park their camper on a turn and just watch.
Because like that's the step towards WRL being just like a weekends gentleman thing and like being a thing.
Right.
Is spectatorship.
Oh yeah, and they had a pretty damn good turnout from what I saw.
That's awesome.
8 a.m. for the pit walk because they had it open to spectators. There was only a handful that took up that. But at 8 a.m., I'm not surprised that it was a little quieter.
Well, I mean, it's Sebring, and I've heard
it wasn't that rowdy. But
I know, but still.
But I mean, people are camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild that you go camping.
Yeah.
And then Friday night they did like a trunk or treat, but we were too busy getting the car prepped. So I thought they were going to walk around the pits. So we had candy ready for that, and like we're like the cars disassembled. We're halfway through all of our stuff, and it's like, oh. Yeah, we need to be parked out at gate 4 in the parking lot. They had like a helicopter come in, and like they had all sorts of stuff for these people.
Oh, now I wish I would have brought my whole damn family. That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Josh was probably like, "Damn it! Now I wish I would have brought my whole family."
Yeah, because they were already down there because they did a vacation because Alicia's mom's down there.
Oh, okay.
So then his family was with the extended family, and then Josh was to the track.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep. Yeah, everyone made a vacation out of it. Yeah, so we had started the race, and Josh did his first. How do I want to say this? He did his first session until he needed fuel.
Okay.
So that'd be his. How do you want to say this? His stint. Is that 2 stints? I don't know. Whatever. He needed fuel.
Yes.
Came in, got fuel.
He ran through a tank.
Yes.
Hour.
Roughly.
Okay.
Then went back out, and he got.
How'd you qualify? How many NPO? How many GTU cars were there?
5.
5?
And we were in 4th.
Okay.
Yes. Because Stratus is the benchmark, and they're so fast.
So obnoxious.
Yep. And then the rest...
Were they taller as predicted?
No. I don't think so.
Really?
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
I think they were still lower than us. Huh. The 9-4 Motorsports was like... It was kind of like you had the Stratus cars... At like,
were there 3 of them this weekend or 2?
2, because the third car is a Thunderhill car, so it's not set up for WRL at all.
Oh, okay.
And so that they're way out in front because they're so goddamn fast. And then 9-4 Motorsports and us, and then L2 and us 3 were very similar in times. So yeah, it was just a good place to start. And then actually, when we started the race, Josh passed 9-4 because they actually had some sort of electrical issue like on the start. Like they had a really like it was just one of those things. It went green and like all of a sudden that car just like and like so like everyone else behind him had like this awful start. So like it's just Stratus takes off and then Josh catches them. Like it was those 3 for a while.
Yeah,
like Josh was right on it. Like
that's awesome.
It was so good. Then obviously you start to do pit stops and like one of the cars. I have no idea what class it was or what car it was. I think one of the Porsches like oiled down the track, and then. So, an orange Corvette,
of course it was,
lit on fire.
Of course it did.
In the pits because it came in, it was smoking real bad, and it just like ignited.
Damn it, dog.
So they brought in like the whole safety team came in, like went through multiple fire extinguishers before they got it out.
Yeah.
Luckily, they didn't like take anything out of the car, but like it was done for the weekend. But while that was happening, as they were like wrapping that up. Someone had a horrible off.
Oh, no.
and that red flagged the session.
Oh, geez, during the race?
Yeah, like just immediate red flag. And I mean, Josh was sitting out like just sitting there for probably 20, 30 minutes while they cleaned that up. Because like you had to clean up the cars because there was 2 cars involved in it. One hit the tire, one hit the barrier.
Oof.
And they had to repair the barrier. Had to get those cars out of there.
Right,
and then so they brought everyone into the pits and just parked them. So red flag to black flag, and then they went green again. Then Josh was out for a while, and then he radioed in, something's wrong with the car. I'm stopped. It's like, God fucking damn it. Like, just, what now, you know? It's been going so good.
Yeah.
And he couldn't really describe what was happening. Something was wrong, and then died. So we packed up our stuff, headed back to paddock. That by the time we got all our stuff over there, they had brought him back on a rollback, and because he was on the back straight, so it was like right kind of where we are. So he got to like an exit area, and they brought him right out and brought him back to paddock. So it really didn't take long.
I have not looked at a Sebring track and a track map in a while.
Because it's completely opposite what I thought. Because like the back straight has the WEC pit lane on it. Okay. And then the regular pit lane is on the other side.
So which one did you use?
The regular pit lane. Okay. That's over by the buildings.
Okay.
So we start tearing it apart, and Ben from Sabico's comes over and kind of like describe what's going on. He's like, yeah, you're going to want to check the oil reservoir and see if like that, see what you're seeing in there. Because like
the oil reservoir for the engine?
For the engine. So so the way these are set up, you have the engine right behind the driver, and then as part of the case for the transmission is the oil reservoir for the engine.
Okay.
So it's like they have the lines to the dry sump, and that's right. So you had engine, bell housing, oil reservoir, transmission, all like in that order. And so he's like, you want to check that because the transmission wasn't locked up, but so like if you put it, it would go into gears, and you put it in neutral and spin it, and everything was fine. But when you tried to like do anything with the engine, that basically from the transmission part forward was locked up. So I was like, well, let's check the engine. So he pulled plugs and checked everything. That looked fine. But that time Ben had come over and was saying like, check the oil reservoir, because he kind of had an idea of what he thought it was going to be. So we do, and you could tell that clearly there was gear oil mixed in with the oil. So like there was clearly a mix there.
Yeah.
So I go and get the magnet, start sticking the magnet in there, and pull out a bunch of shavings. So shavings in there. And then, so we're kind of talking through it, and Ben's like, well, what happens is, actually, no, then Max took a magnet, and he brought it in there and pulled out a bolt. Oh, no. That had clearly, it looked like a flywheel bolt.
Yeah.
And it had a lock wire hole in it.
Yep.
So on the Sadevs,
which is your transmission.
Which is our transmission.
Yep. It's a real fancy transmission.
It's a very expensive sequential. Purpose-built race.
Yeah, these are race-specific trans. These are not streetcar trans.
Yeah, so I would say I haven't torn it apart yet. So I stole some pictures from the Formula 3 manual, I think is what it is, because they use the same transmission, or virtually the same transmission. So you have the oil reservoir, and then you have like the differential right there, and then the transmission is kind of behind it, and it's not a traditional setup. Right,
because it's almost like the transmission is behind or between the engine, or the
differentials between
the engine and the trans almost.
Yeah, and the gears are like stacked in a way that
yeah.
I haven't had a chance to like look at it, but
because the actual transmission part is hanging off the back of it, and the wheel, the axle runs through the front.
Yes,
which is weird.
So what happens is the bolts that hold the spiral gear to the differential crown, or whatever they call that.
Okay.
Those get Loctited, and somewhere along the way, if you want, you can tell Sadev that you want the lock wire upgrade, and that's $20. And someone somewhere decided
$20.
And someone somewhere decided that we don't need that.
$20.
Yes, it's standard on the 85s. We have the 72. It's standard on the 85. I think those are the numbers.
Okay.
So it's an option for whatever fucking reason. But fun fact, the Loctite that they use for these breaks down at 230 degrees. So what happens is that breaks down. These back out. The bolt then gets shot through the fucking transmission case into the oil reservoir for the engine and locks it up.
There's like 3 things here that I feel have gone wrong that
this is
before you guys ever even got it.
This is the 3rd transmission that they have had that Sebico has had to deal with this bullshit on.
So first of all, why is Sadev using such a low heat?
No idea. Huge mistake.
Like that's a manufacturing problem.
Yeah, that's a design flaw.
And secondly, I don't know what those cost, but I'm going to assume that they're in between the 10 and 20 grand range.
That's a fair assumption. Yes.
The $20,000 or the $20 lockwire thing should just be standard
on a race transmission. Yes,
I wouldn't like. I guess like, why would that not? Why would a $20 option not just be the standard when the transmission costs 15 grand?
Right.
Like if I'm spending 15,000 or whatever it is, just picking numbers out of the sky.
That's what.
But realistic cost. That's what realistically what it is. Probably between 10 and 20.
I don't know the exact number, but that's roughly what a sequential costs.
And I might even be being a little generous on the short side.
No. It's. I don't know the exact number, but that's in the ballpark for sure.
But let's say a 15,000. I'm not splitting hairs over a $20 bill.
No. Why would it not be like the way?
And also, why would they use such a low heat resistive Loctite?
Right.
Because there's definitely Loctites, or thread lockers.
Yep.
As Loctite is a brand.
Right.
Thread lockers that are well above 230 degree temperature operating range.
Yep. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm sure there's a lot of things I don't know about the whole situation, but from what my understanding is, like, this is a gigantic fuck up.
Because if I looked at that, I would almost feel like that's almost done on purpose.
Yeah, my 350Z differential doesn't have that bullshit.
Right.
I mean, you put.
Oh no, an OEM
never
level car would never, ever, 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 ever have that.
Nope.
That sort of failure is unacceptable.
Yep. Because
that would cause mass recalls of tens of thousands of transmissions.
Yep. And the warranty period, they have a warranty period because this is a thing. It's 1,300 miles.
But why is it a thing?
It should not be a thing. This is unreal. So if anyone at Sadev is listening to me right now,
crested a 1,300 mile mark.
No, actually, I don't think we have. But my understanding is that Sadev has told us to pound sand already. Not their problem. Our problem. It's our problem.
What the fuck?
So I really don't have anything nice to say about Sadev right now.
Yeah.
Honestly. So if you
which is crazy because they're kind of like one of the
highest rankings.
Like when you think of like wild race car transmissions, that's a name that's up there with like the best that you can buy.
Yes, absolutely. So if anyone at Sadev is listening, be like, just lock bar these motherfuckers. This is unreal. This should not be a problem.
We shouldn't be splitting hairs over a $20 option.
No. If it's standard on the 85, make it standard on the 72. It makes no sense.
If it was a $2,000 transmission, I'd still argue that it's not worth $20.
No, it's not.
But at the same time, okay, fine. But like, that's ridiculous.
And you know the application these are going in.
Yeah.
This isn't a road-going car that might see 230 degrees. It's a fucking race transmission. It's going to see
230 degrees. It'll see It'll see it before the paint is worn off the gearing from when you were checking backlash.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, Ben knew what it was when he walked up. Like, because he's seen it so many fucking times this year.
Not going to say it.
Yeah, it's. I feel bad because he has to deal with this too because Sadev is sending him like this.
But couldn't he not like?
I don't know.
Get them this way.
I assume they're all lock wired now. Man, moving forward,
fucking.
But it sounds like there was. sounds like a period during 2020 when that wasn't really a thing anymore, and everything was just lock-tighted or thread-locked, and that was it.
Because, like, this is even a thing, because a lot of the stuff that I think you guys have dealt with have been stuff that was kind of a sprint car that you're trying to make an endurance car. But that's a problem that could exist in a car that ran 15-minute races.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very realistically.
This is probably this is the first time I've been very vocal about our issues and pointing a finger. Yes. Because a lot of that stuff, like the car was originally just built as a sprint racing car. Yes.
And so I can kind of understand it. It still sucks.
Yeah.
But I can kind of understand where some of this stuff didn't have the development cycle and wasn't originally engineered with the thought of putting that kind of stress on it in that short a period of time.
Yes.
I still think that there's at some level, like some of this stuff, even if I have a sprint racing car and I'm only doing 15-minute races, like 2 or 3 seasons in, I'm going to still start to see this stuff.
Oh, without a doubt.
And some of that is like still kind of, for an $80,000 car or whatever they are, that's still a little iffy, but like, fine, whatever. But man, this is like, to me, that's almost blatant disregard for quality construction.
Yeah, this is the first time I've looked at an issue that we've had and went, this is fucking bullshit.
It is. It totally is.
And the fact that we email them Saturday and they respond on Monday, basically telling us to pound sand.
That's ridiculous.
That's fucking bullshit.
If they have a warranty, they have to honor that shit, don't they? How are they getting out of it?
Apparently saying we're over the mileage.
How do they know that?
I don't know. I have not been involved in that conversation, but it sounds like there's a guy in Texas, because we're not going through SADEV to rebuild it. We're not because my understanding is that
I don't know that you can. I think they're very hard to.
They're in North Carolina. They have a facility.
Oh, do they? For some reason, I thought this was one of those. It was not.
The headquarters in France.
Yeah,
but so there's a guy in Texas that rebuilds these. My understanding is that there should not be any like major damage to the insides of this transmission. We'll find out soon enough, because I will have this on the ground tomorrow. Dude,
I have a hard time believing that there's not at least some gear teeth.
My understanding
is it needs to be magnafluxed and all that stuff to really truly know.
My understanding is that when this fails this way, there are a few things that get replaced. The case, obviously, and then a couple other things. But in general, it's easily rebuildable. I'm hoping that to be true.
Is the engine okay?
I'm hoping that to be true, too.
How are you going to...
Again, my understanding
is that...
You're
going to have to, flush that fucking thing, because it's got a bunch of gear oil in it now.
And metal shavings. In
the dry sump.
Yep.
Which is a real good place for those things.
So all the oil cooler, the lines, all that shit's getting replaced. Probably going to have to send the dry sump to get rebuilt. It's a fucking mess, dude.
Fuck me.
Oh, and let's not forget the first race is in NOLA on January 20th.
Is it, though?
Yes, God damn it.
Robbie.
Yeah, so if you were listening to this on Sunday, that transmission will be on the ground in my shop. Actually, it'll probably be at Booney's. I will be delivering it as fast as I get it out, because it needs to be sent off and get rebuilt immediately.
The way that things are these days, if that's normally a 6-week rebuild time, it's at least double, if not triple that right now.
Probably, yeah. It sounds like the guy that rebuilds these that Sabico is recommending does a pretty goddamn good job. So. Okay. I'm not worried about that part of it, but there's many other things I'm worried about, but that's not one of them. So that's how my race ended at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on Saturday.
I've
had days to
the car just died on Josh.
So he said like he was driving that lap earlier in the lap. He heard it felt like a weird clunk or like a something,
like a bolt shooting through the oil reservoir,
like a bolt failing.
Yeah,
and it never did it again. So he didn't really okay, that was weird. And then half a lap later, major problems.
So did it lock up the trans?
No.
Why did it die?
I think because it locked up the input shaft.
Okay. And so then the motor couldn't turn.
The motor can't turn, but the transmission could.
Okay.
So you could freewheel it and push it around.
Do you have a clutch in that car?
Yeah.
There is a clutch.
Yeah.
You just don't use it.
Just start and stop.
Right. But I mean, driving around, you don't use.
No.
Okay.
No, because when I drive, it's right foot gas, left foot brake.
Right. Yeah. That's why. That's why I have a Focus.
Exactly.
Practice left foot braking.
I only drive that way now. If they're not bad.
Right. Right. Yeah. Robbie's with me now.
I'm actually pretty good at it now.
I do it too. I don't even think twice about it.
I'm actually a better trail breaker with my left foot than I am with my right foot.
I think it'd be way easier with your left foot.
Because I taught myself how to do it left foot. Like that, I immediately went into that application.
There was a one of the Dinner with Racers episodes. They were talking. I can't remember who it was now. It was a pretty famous American motorbike racer.
Oh,
I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I always listened to it, but
they asked him if he rides bikes on the street, and he said no, because he doesn't want to develop the fear that you have to ride a motorcycle on the street. He doesn't want to develop that fear because it would affect his racing.
He's right.
And now I just think about like all the things that that street driving, probably even at a subconscious level. This is some track walking shit right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is some track walking podcast shit
some
right here.
Deep mental
You're
thoughts.
welcome, Scott. After what I said about you earlier, you probably deserve this at least. But like at some level, that has got to affect your driving on track. And then, like you said, you're a better trail breaker with your left foot because you don't have 15 years of learning how to brake wrong on the street that you have to unlearn in order to learn it better.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
But
that is some deep track walking shit right there.
I do like.
They're even more well qualified to talk about it than we are because Seth rides tiny motorcycles.
He does that. Yep.
You're welcome, Scott.
I do like the fact that I'm ambidextrous with my feet now. So like I can bounce back and forth between left foot and right foot braking, and it doesn't fuck with me.
That's what I did when I autocrossed.
Yep.
Because on the rare occasions that I had to downshift on autocrossing, I could switch to right foot braking.
Yep.
And when I wasn't, I just stayed braking with my left so my foot could be there. Because especially in a front wheel drive car, you use the throttle to rotate the car a lot, especially in autocross.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So it was way easier if my foot just stayed on the gas pedal.
Yep. I mean, but then you're talking about tenths of a second.
Yeah.
Not having to switch back and forth. I mean, you're faster if you can get away with it.
Uh-huh.
No, Ross Bentley said I had to learn how to do it, so I did.
I told you that before Ross Bentley did.
Now I'm pretty proficient at it.
I told you that.
It was one of those things that I just assumed.
People have made fun of me for that.
Nah, you're good. I remember.
It's a thing.
Well, it was one of those things. I just assumed everyone could do it. Like everyone faster than me.
There's a ton of people that don't left foot brake.
Tom O'Gorman doesn't left foot brake.
In fact, if you posted something about that in Track Midwest, I bet you'd get a ton of people who tell you left foot braking is in no way, shape, or form could possibly be faster, and it's dumb and a waste of time.
It's not. It's faster.
I promise you that post would create a huge amount of debate and argument.
I'm sure this whole episode's going to create.
But
like when Tom O'Gorman was on Speed Secrets, Ross Bentley was teeing him up to get him to talk about left foot braking. Tom doesn't do it, and Ross didn't know how to respond.
Basically, what you're telling me is that you're a better driver than Tom O'Gorman.
Definitely not
because
saying,
you can left foot brake and he can't.
No. Definitely not saying
you have a better driver skill set. It's deeper, Robbie.
There's
more things.
Not
that
even
you can
close. Not even close. I'm not even very good at.
Robbie Veerhout, GLTC 2023 champion.
Oh God! If I make it to 2 races, I'll be happy. But no, I just assumed that anyone faster than me had to have that skill set. And
No,
I mean, you don't have to have it. But
I don't think it's a thing that a lot of people do.
No.
In fact, I think most of the people who do it probably started in karting.
Yeah.
Or formula cars.
Yeah. Or had it like me. I have an application where it made sense.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, that like part of where Tomo got his driving was that he either worked or his parents owned or something like that, a kart track.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So
well, I mean, and I know Josh doesn't really left foot brake. He uses his right, but he's usually faster than me.
Right.
I mean, we had a couple of events where I was faster than him, but like typically he's a much faster driver.
Well, I mean, it's not like the make or break thing.
No.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of driving techniques that are way more important than left foot braking.
Correct.
But it is still a useful talent that when all else is equal, it can be a thing that can make or break.
Yeah. Assuming everything else that I'm doing is correct, the left foot braking could mean tenths of a second.
And honestly, I like the fact that like I have trained myself to be able to switch back and forth between either foot doing either job without even thinking about it consciously.
Yes.
The fact that I can do that without thinking about it is cool to me.
Yep. No, I'm actually, that's one of the things I have learned in the last 2 years.
I feel like that's almost a talent to be proud of.
I'm proud of it. I mean, I have
I am
many
too,
I have many seconds to be faster per lap for many other reasons I'm doing wrong.
Fine, whatever.
But I at least have
let's focus on
I have that part.
For once, let's focus on the things. Let's be positive about ourselves, Robbie.
Yep.
Just for one time, and let's fucking be left foot breakers.
I left foot brake, and I'm proud of it.
Fuck yeah.
I got many seconds to catch up everywhere else, but I at least
Show
have that,
title.
I have that going for me.
A left foot break, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Show title.
No, I got a different one.
Okay.
I got a different one. Yeah, so the race was over at 11 o'clock on Saturday. And by race, I mean weekend. Obviously, we spent... we didn't even spend that much that long. I think by the time lunch was over...
the car was packed?
No, not packed. Like, we'd already diagnosed it and made the... Like, there's no fix. There's no spare transmission. There's no...
You need a lot more than a spare trans.
Yeah.
You need a whole dry sump system.
Yup. Yeah. Everything's fucked. It needs a proper thorough going through.
That sucks.
It's a mess. Yeah, so we hung out Saturday. Mostly packed up a lot. Like throughout the day, it's kind of packed up most of the stuff. Friday night, Booney made us Korean short ribs. You would hate it. It was spicy, but my God, it was good.
Right,
so good. And then Saturday we did Brassenbergs and stuff. And that was,
yeah, did you put ketchup on it?
I put ketchup on my brat just to piss him off.
That a boy.
Because the weekend had already gone to shit.
Yeah,
so
fuck
what's a little more? Yeah, so we hung out Saturday a little bit. They took off first thing Sunday morning.
Watch the race for a while or anything like that?
No.
What?
I was so... No, I did watch it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't... It was one of those things like... Usually, like, I go out of my way to, like, watch it and, like, pick up where people are going. Like so if there was a chance we were going to be on track on Sunday, I was going to, like, see where people are driving techniques and, like, just kind of watch what people are doing. But, like, it's like, I'm not going to be back here for at least a fucking year. I don't even care.
You're going to forget all of it anyway.
I was just the entire season had caught up to me at that point. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this season. I'm done with this fucking year. This shithole punch in the face year.
Yeah.
It's like,
remember when, like, 3 or 4 years ago when we talked about, like, this
would be the best year ever?
Gotta be this has got to be as bad as it gets, right? This is rock bottom, right?
That was my caption on my Instagram story. I said rock meet bottom. Because, like, of course this happened this year. This year has been fucking terrible.
It can't be any worse, right? And then it fucking
It did.
Then it is.
Bottom has a basement.
Yeah. And it's...
No, like, we were talking...
deep.
We were talking at the DMVR meeting on Wednesday. And... because, like, every year they do the Wing Bitch Trophy. Like, whoever had the word... Like, for
the worst season?
Yeah, misfortune. You know?
Yeah, the most misfortune.
And I was like, do they have to be at SCCA events? And they're like, well, no. I was like, okay, well, NOLA didn't go great. We had all sorts of issues there. Fueling issues and, like, barely finished the race on Sunday.
Yep.
Dropped the lifter in my truck. Made it to Road America. Didn't get to get on track once. Bought the Mini Cooper. That failed after a month.
Transmission at Heartland.
Made it to PPI, or actually made it to Brainerd. Fried a bunch of electrical shit. That wasn't so bad. Made it to PPIR. Had all those wiring gremlins that kept me out of one of the races.
Yep.
Made it to Heartland, realizing that my transmission had shelled out. Swapped that. Made it to Sebring. Drove 11 laps in practice.
Yeah.
This year can fucking end any minute. I'm done, dude. I'm fucking over this year. And that's just the shit I'm willing to share. Like,
that's the stuff that happened in or around the racetrack.
Yeah. Not to say that anything else was easier anywhere else in my fucking life.
No, but let's just focus on that stuff because this is a car podcast.
Yes. So this is the bag over the head, punch in the face, kick in the dick year I've had.
God, I hope so.
This better be fucking it, man.
I hope so.
Something
or
needs
this
to start
podcast is done.
Yeah, I need something to go my way for real.
We're gonna switch hobbies.
Yep. No. Saturday afternoon, I wanted nothing to do with anything. I just want to be.
Yeah.
Just want to be left alone. I wanted a cigarette but didn't. But I mean, that was fuck, man. So hung out. They packed up and left first thing Sunday morning. And by they, I mean Booney and Max. Alicia came and got Josh, so we watched the beginning of the race and hung out for a while, probably like maybe an hour. And then I was like, well, I got a whole day to myself. I'm going to go to the beach. Make the most of this. Drove to Sarasota. Went down. Well, then I realized that Sarasota has everything, all the...
We can just do a travel podcast now instead if you want, Robbie.
That's fine.
We just go places and do things and talk about...
So, but Sarasota, everything... They have, houses to the ocean.
Yeah.
So, if you want to get to the beach, you have to go all the way to the key part. You have to, cross the bridge and go to the keys.
Oh, okay.
So I went down to Lido Beach or whatever. It was like one of the only public beaches that was anywhere close to the airport. So I just went down there.
Did you have a hotel in Sarasota?
Yeah, right across the street from the airport.
Oh, okay.
So I went down to the. Well, I didn't really plan ahead, so I didn't have a swimsuit or a towel. Or,
yeah, you're like that guy who's standing on the beach in your tennis shoes and your jeans.
No.
That's me.
That's
me at the beach.
I had
when I plan ahead on going to the beach. That's me at the beach.
Let's see. I had some decent pictures. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm there at noon, So I grabbed some food on the way there, and then just went and sat at the beach. I just had shorts on, Adidas shorts, basketball shorts. The water was kind of cold, so I read my book for a couple hours. Got sunburned. I bought sunscreen, but I still got sunburned.
Smart.
This real a big plot spot in the middle of my back that I couldn't reach. And
right.
I'm not about to ask all these old retired ladies.
No,
to
God no.
I should have, but
that would have been the highlight of their week, Robbie.
Well, it's funny. I was walking in.
Such a dashing young man like you.
Yeah, I'm an open book. So I'm walking in, and I'm obviously not going to talk to people because I'm not that guy.
Right.
So I'm just walking in. I noticed the woman in front of me. I was like, she's got a fucking amazing figure. That woman looks great.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking, she's walking with this guy and didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, that dude is old.
Uh-huh.
I kind of glance back. She's old.
Uh-huh.
My God.
She's rocking.
She was retirement age.
Yeah.
With a rockin' bod. And I was
hell yeah.
This is crazy.
Good for him. Good for him.
Good for him and her.
Good for both of them for being able to do that.
That's as I'm walking up to the beach. That's the first thing I was like, I picked the right beach. I was just blown away. I was like, she has a rockin' bod.
Nice.
Double my age, at least.
That's nice.
So obviously I got to know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just swam in the ocean a little bit. It was kind of cold, so then I just read for a while.
They were they didn't have a pineapple on their bag or anything, did they, Robbie?
Not that I saw. They weren't. I didn't see a lot of swingers out and about.
Oh, okay.
They usually keep that a little quieter. Usually not in the middle of the afternoon, I guess, at the public beach.
You never know. It's Florida.
It is Florida. So then I got sick of that beach. Then I drove down to the other beach and walked around there for a while. I got sick of just sitting, so I had to walk.
Yeah.
So I just left my shoes in the car and walked up and down the beach. There's a lot of seashells. Cut my feet a little bit.
Nice.
Feel bad for me.
That's what I'm going to the beach in a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, but you hate the beach.
I'm excited for it, though.
Are you taking your shirt off?
No, God.
See,
no.
then you're not even getting the whole experience.
I don't even know if I'm going to get in the water.
You have to get in the water.
I don't.
Are you going to the ocean?
Yeah.
Then you have to get in the water.
I don't have to do anything, right?
Adam.
You know what
One of my favorite things in the whole world is the ocean.
You know what I'm going to do? We've talked about this app that I have on my phone. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, though.
Yeah, we have.
The Seek app?
With the
animal thing?
Yeah, the animal thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like we hadn't talked about it on the podcast. So, but you can use it to identify animals. I'm just going to fucking fill out all the things I can't ever find at home. That's all I'm going to do is run around with my battery's going to go dead from just that.
Taking pictures of the bugs and shit?
Yeah, bugs, crabs, fish.
There was a bug.
Seashells.
I almost sent you a picture of it because it was weird.
It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, I almost...
Reptiles.
Yep. I saw a big tortoise walking around.
Son of a bitch, Robbie.
Well,
See?
by big, I mean
you could have been filling out your Pokédex too. That's what my coworkers called it.
The Pokédex?
Yeah, that's what they call it. My Pokédex.
That's fair.
And now it's gotten to the point.
Did anything ever come of that locust-looking thing I sent you?
No.
No one ever identified it?
No.
So there's a new species at my house.
No, Robbie.
That's what that means. If no one can identify it, that means I'm the first to find it.
Fine, I gotta put it on iNaturalist then, apparently.
Yeah, I need to know what that was.
God damn it. means I have to find it.
For those that don't have a clue what I'm talking about, there was a weird like grasshopper looking thing on my yard I'd never seen before, but like the back half of it looked like it was leaves. So I took a picture of it and sent it to Adam so he could post it on his little app
I
thing.
didn't think it was that weird looking, Robbie.
I had never seen it before.
I mean,
it was a unique creature.
Fine.
And no one has identified it, which means I discovered a new species.
It's going to take me so long to find this.
Well, they don't do it now. Who cares? But yeah, so then at that point I was hot and clearly sunburned, at least in the middle of my back. Didn't talk to anybody.
No,
like not
you
one
don't
person.
Talk to people. People are terrible.
Went back, finally got checked into my hotel, took a shower, relaxed for a bit, and then I got bored because I was watching the Formula One race, the Mexican Grand Prix, and that's why I got bored because that was my God, that was boring.
Because it was really bad.
Oh my God, it was so boring.
Is it really?
It was terrible.
No, I didn't. You know, now that you say that, I don't think I even realized it happened.
Yeah,
which
it was that boring.
I don't pay attention to Formula One, but I have enough things going on, car-related things going on my Facebook that I know they happen.
Yep.
And I can always tell that they're exciting if they are. But I don't even think it registered in my mind that there was a Formula One race this weekend, which means it was not good.
Yep. Yeah, there wasn't a lot.
Fair.
So then I went back because I wanted some food. And because I was next to the ocean, I have to have seafood. So there's
son of a bitch. Now I'm super jelly.
What?
I fucking love seafood.
I know, it's so good.
There's like, as long as it's been cooked, there's almost nothing I won't eat.
It doesn't need to be
out
cooked.
of the ocean. That's not true, Rob.
You can literally take a fish and cut its head off.
I know you can, but I don't want to.
It's the best.
It's not the best.
The problem was, like,
I love shrimp that like is
fresh,
real fresh. Yeah. So good.
Yep.
It's different than the frozen stuff that we get
here. I have another gripe because, like, in Miami, when you go down to like the beach, there's like many restaurants just like on the water.
Right.
Anywhere you go, you could throw a football and pick one of three that it lands on.
Right.
Sarasota doesn't really have that. So I was like, drove down, and there was like kind of like a park, and then there was a restaurant on one side and a restaurant on the other. I'm like, well, one of these will be worth going to. Is
it like Ames where everything's a chain?
No, I refuse to eat at chains.
I know, I'm with you there. But is that like how Sarasota is, where it's like, oh, I can go to Applebee's?
There's plenty of chains, but like I thought there'd be more like Bob's Fish Place on the water. And
that's what you want.
Because I wanted fried alligator, which I couldn't find anywhere.
That would be. I've never had an alligator.
It's good.
That sounds delicious.
I couldn't find it anywhere. I thought for sure, like by Sebring, I'd find it in like one of those like really weird, like on the side of the road restaurants. There really wasn't any of them.
Huh?
Because I've had it in Miami before. By the way, obviously I like Miami a lot more than Sarasota, as I've clearly.
That's what
shown.
I'm gathering here. Yeah. Next year, Robbie's flying into Miami, even if it costs more.
Yep. That or I'll do Orlando because I've never been there.
Worst case scenario, you end up in Miami.
Exactly. I'd be a lot happier. So I went to this. I was walking up. I was like, so there's this one restaurant on one side of the big park called O'Leary's, which was like just a smaller like whatever restaurant. And then this other one, I can't remember what it was called, looked better. And I was like, oh, I'll check that one out. I walk across the park and I go over there and I walk up and it's like clearly a yacht club thing. Like there's a bunch of crew and like all of these like yachts parked like right next to it.
Too,
well, yeah, Robbie. Of course. And I'm walking up, I'm like, everybody's showing up, dressed up, getting valeted. I'm like, I'm in a t-shirt and shorts.
This is not where
this is not my jam right now. You know, because like I'm obviously gonna be eating alone.
I don't belong here.
Yep. I'm not gonna go like sit up at the bar.
Oh God, no.
So I was like,
they probably wouldn't have let you in, honestly.
No, I probably would have been fine. Because like, I mean, there's enough people like. There's clearly families and like people that came in off the boats that were going in and eating. So it wasn't like I don't think it would have stuck out like a sore thumb.
Oh, okay.
But it was definitely not the restaurant I thought it was. So then I walk back and walk over to this really small. I think it was called O'Leary's something or other. It was like just.
That looks like a.
Yeah, it's like it's
the like the grass shack and
and the picnic tables on the sand.
On the sand, that's how it should be.
So I mean, didn't really have a whole lot. I just had fish tacos. I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong, but they had like these teenage kids playing live music, doing covers of stuff. So that was nice. I like live music.
Were they good?
They're pretty good.
Oh,
not great, but they're good.
Oh,
I have no complaints.
Oh, okay.
Well, then like I'd sit down and then like to my right I have the restaurant and all the live music and all the people, and then to my left hold on. To the left I just have the ocean. That was nice.
I love the ocean.
It's my favorite. My dream is to just go like scuba diving and snorkeling, and that's my next hobby. Cause
you know what's funny, Robbie? We love like twisty roads and mountains and oceans.
Yep.
We live in Iowa.
Yep. I told Booney that when I'm done with racing, that's the day I find a new job and just leave.
Yeah.
And just go do that, so I can go do my ocean things, because I love the ocean. Yep.
Katie and I have like, I keep telling her like, we could just like move to.
We just leave. We can go anywhere.
Yeah. We don't have to be here.
No. We are free as a bird. Just go.
Probably wait till the housing market changes a little bit.
Yeah, the 7% interest rate is not really great right now.
No, it's not.
But if you just live out of a backpack, you don't need a house.
Well, there is that option, Robbie, and that honestly is looking better and better.
The beach bum life is the life. I think
that I don't know that I do the beach bum life.
I would.
Like I told you earlier, I've been listening to all of the Hatchet series books, and the Northern Woods is sounding really fucking amazing these days.
Yep. I get that.
Just eating fish and rabbits.
So good.
Cooked on a fire.
I haven't had rabbit in a long time.
That sounds amazing. I just want to do that.
I should get some rabbit. But yeah, I mean, so then I ate at this restaurant, and then went back to Lido Beach so I could watch the sunset, because what else am I going to do? Right. Just sat there and watched the sunset. Jess wanted me to send pictures, but I also knew that I better not send pictures, so because she would fucking mad.
Yeah, you send one or two, but like don't get too crazy.
Yep. Look what I'm doing without you.
Yeah.
That didn't go over very well.
Yeah, weird.
But it wasn't planned. Like,
right, yeah, this isn't your fault. She can't be too mad about you.
It's like my plan was to race Saturday.
By the time you got there, it should have been dark.
Yeah, my plan. Well, I wasn't expecting to be there till like 9.
Right.
Check in, shower, crash, get up at 3:30 to go to the airport so I can leave by 6.
Right.
Because I had a 6 a.m. flight, man. I was out of there. I had no intention of sticking around for any longer than I had to. Because I was back in Des Moines at 10:30 on Monday morning. Also, Atlanta is so busy.
Oh, you did
the airport.
That's not a direct. That wasn't a direct.
No,
flight
not
home?
the flight back. I had to go through Atlanta.
Ugh.
It was just like I got off the plane and I was like, I'm gonna go to the restroom before I go to the next terminal. Every restroom between Terminal D and Terminal B had a line out the door.
Ugh,
I couldn't believe it. So that wasn't fun.
No.
Actually, you know what? A lot of it wasn't fun. This whole year, not a lot.
Do not recommend.
I wouldn't recommend 2022 for anyone. This year sucks.
2 out of 5. Do not recommend.
Yup.
So
I kind of just want to like sit at home and not like just hide from the world for a while. Cause
we get to do that until December. Then we go to PRI.
Yep. So I mean, meeting Dorsey Schrader was nice. Sebring's great. I love that track. I need to go back. But yeah, basically I got back.
I'm just surprised that you liked it as much as you did.
I figured there was no middle ground. It was either going to be all love or all hate.
Yeah.
So
I remember you saying that even.
I need to basically, let's assume that if I really don't like it on the sim, I'm going to love it in reality. Because that just seems to be how it goes.
It's interesting because there's a lot of tracks that I never really could drive on the sim.
Yep.
Including the Nordschleife.
Yeah.
I never liked it at the Nürburgring.
No. So, Sebring's great. I'll go back as absolutely the next chance I get. Probably won't fly into Sarasota next time, but unless it's like $50, and then I don't have a choice.
Yeah, right. For as cheap as that is, you could drive to Miami for less money.
Yep. Actually, next time I'll plan ahead and just make a trip out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just came back, and I've just been wrenching ever since. I got the Z completely torn apart. Suspension sent off to Fortune.
Oh, that's right. You spent some money.
Not as much as I thought I was going to have to.
Well, yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Money spending's good, Robbie.
Yeah. So now I'm getting upgraded to the 520 CRs. Oh, yeah. Talked me right into it. Actually, no, talk me into it. That's just what I wanted.
Damn, son.
Yep.
Are the Dreadnoughts a different body? Like, could you go to the Dreadnought?
Yeah, I could.
Okay.
Would that be another?
Because those are a full 3-way.
Yes.
Which you can't find, whatever.
Yeah. So now the 520 CRs are probably the right place to be.
That makes sense.
It's a good upgrade.
They're better, but they're not like, yeah, I spent a lot of money on stuff I don't really understand how to use anyway.
Yeah, I'm taking myself to suspension school this winter, so I know what I'm doing.
So you can figure that shit out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also didn't realize how close I was to my bump stops after I'd corner balanced the damn thing. because like I have the rubber cover over that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't. Because he's like,
so do you think you may be running into some bump steer issues?
I was for sure hitting bump stops I for whatever reason I must not have been hitting it at PPIR, but I was for sure hitting them at Topeka, which is why I felt like I was so bouncy. Because we were going back and forth sending pictures and kind of talking through by me. I mean, me and Devin at Fortune, we were emailing back and forth for like a couple days.
Cool.
And so he sent us some pictures and talking through it, and he's like, "I'm betting you're on the bump stops." I'm like, it's in the air, and I'm like, yeah, I bet I was. Bet I was. Didn't even think about it.
Huh.
So, because, yeah, I mean, there was plenty of room before
So it's got to come up then. It can't be so hot, boy.
Yeah, no. We're taking that into account when we make when we upgrade this.
Okay.
No, the height's going to stay.
Okay.
We're gonna add.
Okay.
We're gonna modify it to allow for the travel.
Because that car is real low.
That's where it's supposed to be.
I don't disagree with that, Robbie, but it's
supposed to be
low.
No, it's supposed to be low. It's not even that low.
It's pretty low.
It's not that low.
It's remarkably lower than E-Man's.
That's because his is like monster truck tall.
Yeah.
Mister, I need a low car.
Well,
that car's broken anyways.
Yeah, that car's...
Then I got
people I don't understand. He's pretty high on my list.
Then I got my 9 Lives Racing Wing that showed up already.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, they had the clearance sale, and I was like, well, that's the perfect thing.
You can probably get a decent chunk of change out of that APR 300.
200. But
is it a 200?
Yeah. I mean, if someone wants a 200, I'll make a deal on it.
Because it looks good now since you refinished it.
It's got some rock chips on it.
But it looks like it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and the end plates I made for it are really better than the junk that they came with.
You could make some money on that compared to what you paid for it.
I'll definitely make money on it.
Which is cool.
Yeah, or even if I sell it for what I paid for it, I'll be really happy.
Yeah.
It's in good shape.
Yeah.
Now there's rock chips on it.
Eh.
But now the Z's all torn apart. It'll be more.
What are you doing with the trans? What have you decided what you're going to do?
I'm going to pull. This weekend's very busy. Obviously, I'm going to pull the trans out of the NPO1 and then kind of get that car stashed away a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to. What am I going to do in this? There's a few things I want to do in the Z.
Are you just going to fix the 009?
Yeah, I'm going to pull the 009 apart.
Fix it.
And see. I want to see what's failed. Most likely, I'm going to rebuild it. Put that in the car. Take the CDO1 obviously out of the car, and then I'll rebuild that.
You're going to rebuild it too and just have a spare trans?
Yep. Because that one it's just a synchros in 3. Everything else is good.
There's worse things to have in life than a spare transmission in a race car.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's one of those things like I'm not going to regret having it.
At least it's not a SADEV.
Yep.
Because it's a lot cheaper.
Remarkably.
When it fails.
So I'll be really interested to see what actually failed on the CDO9 because when they fail, it's a weird gear. So it's got like third gear has like 2 gears on it. And then where they meet, so like they're different sizes. So where they meet, that shears, and then it gives you neutral. It just spins.
But that's not what you.
No, I'm completely locked out.
Yeah,
which is not traditionally how they fail.
Right.
My understanding, anyways. So I'm real curious.
It has to be something bent, and it just won't go by it.
It has to be. So I'm hoping maybe it's something simple. Was
it in gear when we drove it home?
That's the only thing I could think of.
That's the only thing I can come up with too. Is that it rocked back and forth and something got pinched and
that's what I was thinking. Like
it was in third.
That's like I put it in third, and then when I cinched it up, I moved the car, which put a lot of stress on it, and then shaking and rattling all the way home.
That's the only thing.
But I didn't have to. I didn't have to like fight to pull it out of third. If that was the case, because I don't remember ever doing that. I just put it in reverse and drove off the trailer.
Right.
That's the only thing I could think of that would have happened. But Jake Abbott's idea of that, maybe I came off track, parked it with it in third, and then melted the synchros to it. But even that didn't make sense because the same thing I would have had to pop out.
Because you had to really yank on it to get it to pop out.
So, yeah, I honestly have no idea. It'll be real interesting to see when I pull it apart.
Are you doing a livery change?
Yes. I have plans.
Are you?
Yes.
Is this how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much spite of me is involved in said change?
That'll be a surprise.
Fucking A. What about the MPO1? Is it getting a livery change?
I'll talk to Booney about whether maybe we need to have matching liveries.
That'd be dope.
Especially if they spite you.
That'd be less dope.
I'll talk to him about this. Maybe blue isn't the color. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Is there some orange involved in it?
Maybe, yeah.
That would really, like, I would be I don't know if I'd be more happy or upset the fact that you would do that to me.
I want you to know.
That's rude, is what it is.
I want you to know that on iRacing, anytime I make a livery, it's because you'll never see it.
Yeah.
But they're always colors that you would fucking hate. Always. My spec Miata is bright green with gold wheels.
I like gold wheels,
but you hate neon green.
You're right. I don't like green colors.
But no, so the Z's getting all torn apart. The NPO one's getting all torn apart. It's building season, but I do want to get a lot more sim time this year, so it'll be. Yeah, I got a lot of body work to do. Thanks a lot, Wes.
Whoa!
I'll probably before I pull the transmission apart, I'm probably going to. So I need to make a run to the scrapyard to get rid of a bunch of this like metal that's sitting next to my shop.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to swap that door over and get that all like cut up and get all the extra metal out so I can just make one trip and get that cleaned up before the snow flies. And then, once I get that done, I can start cleaning up the shop and then rebuild the trans and then body work and reassembly. And I mean, honestly, there's not a remarkable amount that I need to do to the Z. But at the same time, there's still a decent amount of work. And obviously the NPO one will be quite a bit amount of work because the new rules are going to come out and we have an idea of what they're going to be. But so we're probably going to have to...
Are they going to change some things, you think?
Yes.
Like in an annoying way?
No, I don't think so.
Are they going to make them more overall competitive, do you think?
Yes.
Do you?
I think that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I feel comfortable saying that I believe that...
Ooh.
That based on hearsay...
Ooh.
I know what the next rules are going to be. I'm just not going to.
Okay.
I'm just not going to blurt it.
Yeah, no, you
because
should.
They're not announced yet.
Yeah. Do you know when that'll be?
I think at PRI.
I was going to say PRI
for sure. But actually, RJ made it sound like they were going to do it almost this week. So I bet they're coming out real soon.
Okay.
Because I mean the first race is in January, so we should.
Yeah.
Sooner the better.
Putting them out in December is kind of a dick move.
Yep.
Even if it is the beginning of December, but still.
Yeah, especially because if there is changes, people are going to have to accommodate.
People need time to change them. Unless you let that first, but then it shouldn't be part of the championship for the year. Exactly. So, it needs to come out sooner than later.
Yeah, and I think it's coming out pretty soon.
Okay. I've never opened a WRL rulebook.
It's pretty easy to follow.
Little intention of ever doing so.
No, when you're a crew chief, you need to know these things.
Well, that's probably what's going to end up making me read it.
Yeah, because you're going to be done with this like grid life crap. You're going to be like, you know what? I want a crew chief.
So I spend a lot of time driving places by myself.
Yeah.
Because at a minimum, I have an hour and a half worth of driving by myself every day just to get to and from work.
Yes.
And so I have a lot of time to think, which is dangerous.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's super dangerous. And I've found myself actually thinking more and more and more that maybe I want to do that next year. And that the only grid life events that I probably would for sure go to are basically any of them that you're also going to go to.
Yes.
And then I will not miss festival.
That's fair. Which works out because Booney will be at Le Mans during Daytona. So we won't be at WRL Daytona.
Okay.
Which is in June. Let's assume festival's in June.
Right. Even though I think it was better later in the year.
Fair. I don't think we're going to go to the Atlanta one in February. And I don't think we're going to go to... Oh, God, what was the other one? Maybe that's just those two. Those two are for sure out.
I just crested 5 years of employment at the place I'm currently at.
More vacation?
And I got another week.
Fuck yeah.
So that's another week for me to waste on racing, which is not how Katie saw it.
Well, we've had that conversation. Yeah, when the WRL schedule comes out, I'm like, look how far I get to travel.
Robbie.
Yeah. Actually, she wants to come, so that works out.
I really don't see, Josh's done it a couple of times. I've done it a couple of times, too, where you take them, and even if you stay an extra day or two or come a day or two early and do some stuff and then do the racing and then go home, that seems not unfair to me.
No. Just make a weekend out of it.
And, even just going to the race and coming back, it's not like they're not entertained by it. And honestly, if they aren't, they should probably figure out a way to be, because clearly this isn't going away.
No.
This is what we do, like it or not.
Even after a year like this.
And if you don't like it, then, figure it out.
Yeah. First off, this isn't new. This hobby isn't brand new. You knew this going in.
Yeah.
But it helps that she likes to camp.
Right.
So we can treat it like a camping trip.
We sort of had this discussion before we started. It's really frustrating because both of our significant others don't really have a passion that rivals what we have in cars.
Yes.
And so I can't support her in the way I would like to her to support me.
Yep.
So I can't get her to understand how important that is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because she doesn't understand it because there's nothing I can do to show how important it would have been to her. And that's really frustrating.
Yes.
Because that support is super important to me.
Without a doubt. It
I don't
changes everything.
I will still do it if you don't support me, but I don't feel as good about it.
Right. It'll be a strain rather than a way to come together.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, ladies, if you're listening, understand that.
Yeah. This is an all-encompassing obsession.
Sorry. It is, though.
Because I could be beat up, kicked down at the end of my rope. And what do? Monday morning, I'm in the fucking shop.
Yeah.
Or Monday afternoon, I'm in the shop after I come back.
Yeah.
Tearing apart the Z so that I can ship off parts so I can be ready. That probably won't be until like May or June. But either way, I'm going to have it fucking ready.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Imagine how into this I'm going to be once I start having good years. You know? If I start having any sort of success, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to back me up on this.
Yeah.
That or I'm moving to the ocean and I'm just going to go swim all the time. Swim with the fishes.
And I'm going to live in the woods.
That sounds way better, actually. No. Anyways. That's all I got.
Let's shut it down, Robbie. It's Friday night. My kids aren't home this weekend.
Oh, it's rage.
I'm not going to rage.
No, I'm
going to do the exact opposite of rage, and I can't.
I'm getting 12 hours of sleep.
Wait.
Yeah, don't blame me one bit. Oh, shoot. You know what?
What?
ApexTrackCoach.com.
Boom.
Boom. To get your Apex Pro. It is almost time for holiday seasons, which means it's time for presents, which means that the best present, besides the Petra Box, is an Apex Pro.
There you go.
If you are listening to this show and you were like, you know what? The way they were talking about being supported by their significant other, that resonated with you because you have someone that's just like us.
Yeah.
Which if you've made it,
you're stuck listening to this.
If you've made
clearly
it this,
do.
if you've made it this far in the show,
you're a captive audience.
Yes, you for sure have somebody in your life that would benefit from an Apex Pro Gen 2 using the code 10tenths. You get 10% off that Gen 2 as well as the window mount that goes with it. I assume that the person you're listening to or listening to this with also has the Apex Pro app on their phone already because they want to check it out because it's free. The official motorsports app of the 10 Cents podcast. It does all of the things you can do with the Gen 2, obviously without the advanced data. It'll use your phone for those types of things, so it'll be not quite as accurate, but it'll give you at least an insight into what it's capable of doing. But it's just, I can't get over how good it is for an app and a data acquisition system because, like, we have the AIM system on the NPO1. You got to pull out your laptop. You got to download it. You got to open. So you download it from application A and you open it in application B, and it's not user friendly. Just so we're perfectly clear.
Nope, I've tried it.
But you know what is user friendly? The Apex Pro app. Because you pull up your lap and you pull up what lap you want to do, and then you're like, you can work through. You like scroll all the way through it, and you're like, oh, well, I can see on this turn here I was doing this one. On the next lap I was actually faster through that corner, even though it's a sort of lap. And you can see, and you can compare laps. It is so easy.
Yeah.
To review data. I cannot stress it enough. Apex Pro has that figured out right. ApexTrackCoach.com.
Are we done?
Yes. I'll catch everybody next
with
week.
life?
No, we're done. We're done with. We'll catch you next year. No, I'm just kidding.